people come from all walks of life. They all have lives they lead. Any and all are welcome here to come and chat with me.
Hello and welcome to the show, everyone. Today's one of those episodes where I get really excited because I get to speak to a person who I've only seen on Facebook so far, and I don't know a lot about him. I know where he lives, I know he's a musician, and I know his name. So time to get to know a little bit more. Ladies and gentlemen, today's guest, Marshall Dane. Welcome to the show, Marshall.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are.
Yeah, we're morning here in BC. So where in Ontario do you live?
So I live about an hour north of Toronto, and I've lived all over Toronto. I've lived down in Niagara Falls and St. Catharines, but then I now live an hour north of the city and out in the country. A little area called Mono is now my home.
Mono,
Ontario.
Mono.
Yeah, it's a very small little community. The closest major community is Barrie. So Barrie's like the big city above Toronto, like the first one. And I'm kind of somewhere halfway between there, out in the woods.
Okay, because I've lived in Newmarket, so I'm somewhat familiar with that area.
Okay, so if you take Highway 9 and go all the way out to Airport Road, that's where I live.
All right, sounds good. So now let's talk about your music for a moment. You sing, right?
I do, yeah.
And you play the guitar?
I do.
And do you play any other instruments?
I do. You can see my little keyboard, a bit of it over here. I actually have two pianos in my living room, not because I have a big living room, but because I can't say no to instruments. So, but I do play a bit of piano.
Right.
I kind of play a little bit of a few different instruments. I've got some different drum things, percussions. You know, I'm a lover of music, so anything I kind of get my hands on. I've got a little accordion. I try different things. Sometimes it's violin, you know.
Right. Oh, awesome.
Jack of all trades, master of none.
But that's awesome, though. But I find a lot of musicians are like that, in my experience, you know, with interviewing them. So are you in a band, or are you just a solo performer?
So I am in a band. I have a band. My band has always been my Marshall Dane name. I've just used that. So either you're seeing Marshall Dane solo, or you're seeing, at one point, actually, I used to call my band Marshall Dane and the Law. Sorry, I have a little tickle in my throat.
Okay.
But Marshall Dane and the Law really was just me with my band. And then if you saw Marshall Dane, it was me solo. But over the years, I've just decided that, you know, I'm just gonna go with Marshall Dane, and sometimes it's with it and without. But my guys in my band, I hire guys that are usually on tour with other major artists.
Oh.
And so when they're not on tour with them, I've got 1, 2, or 3 different guitar players that are usually on the road. But if one of them's available, which I got my like little set of guys that I call right away, my first call guys, just for availability. And then if they're not, then I have other guys I can call. It's actually a beautiful setup. The guys are great too. So it's a great band. Yeah.
Nice. I one of the things I find with talking to musicians is you're all very generous with each other, you know, with the stage time, performance time. I really like that. I really appreciate that.
I think, yeah, we appreciate each other as players. So we're not up there. I mean, yeah, we're not up there selfishly. We're up there to be with those other guys. It's fun to build a castle in the sandbox with the same guys. You know, you're not destroying their castle. They're building one part over there and you're building the other part over here. And at some point it meets in the middle and you got this cool castle.
What kind of music do you perform?
I have a country rock band, and I say country rock. I don't know really. I mean, it's country music, and it definitely sits on this rock edge. Probably because as a Canadian, we have kind of a Canadiana rock thing that has been in our history, I guess, just like anywhere. But I'd say that's kind of predominantly what we have a lot of influence, or at least me, you know, from the Bryan Adamses and the who's that other guy? Life is a highway. Tom Cochran.
Okay.
You know, like we have a lot of those kind of guys. So you have that kind of mix with, of course, the country music that I love, which is like the Paul Brants.
Right.
So anyway, so yeah, it's a country rock band.
I have a question, a curious question. When I'm not a performer. I don't sing and I don't play any instruments. But what happens when I hear sounds, certain sounds, and if they continue, like say a bird tweeting or a train going over tracks, eventually that sound creates like almost a beat in my head. Do musicians have that? Does that happen to you?
I believe so. And I mean, what I'm hearing when you say that is every night I sleep to a little noisemaker machine that plugs into the wall, and it gives me like sounds of waterfall or sounds of white noise or sounds of a creek flowing or whatever, and thunderstorms. So I turn it on like the waterfall, and I can hear a rhythm between water skipping over certain rocks, and then every once in a while you get the that kind of sound.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can hear that, but
I think
so
like,
you make a little rhythm out of it. Yeah.
I think like
it's hard to fall asleep sometimes.
Right. No, well, I sleep with the radio on because I have that ringing in my ears. But I'm just thinking about, like, if I was a musician, I would just think that I could take that rhythm and produce a song with it. Like that's what I think would be exciting if I happen to be a musician, but I'm not. So I have to leave it to people like you to do it.
Yeah, there's all kinds of things. I was inspired by learning something the other day. I don't know if you ever heard that cup song, which was, I don't know, I can't really do it. I don't have a cup here, but.
I don't know if I've heard it.
I got a ticket for the long way round, 2 bottles of whiskey for the way. Like it's got a neat little, just making a rhythm out of something. And it's like, oh, wow. And in this video I saw, they were using cups to do some of those rhythms. And you can almost do anything, drop a little stick and.
Yeah, yes.
Now we're dancing,
Yeah, I just think it's awesome. Do you have siblings?
I sure do. I got lots. I got more than most people, I think. I've got 4 sisters and 2 brothers.
I can beat you there. We were 12, so there you go. Are they all,
oh, wow.
Are they also performers?
I'd say most of them are, well, there was definitely the first 4, my 3 older sisters and myself were very much into musical instruments. Okay. My little sister, she was smarter than most of us, and so she became a musical engineer. She works on TV shows. Like I don't remember the names of them because I'm not a TV show watcher per se, but there was a show called, I think, Vikings. Vikings was on TV, and she worked on that. There was another one, Something Blue. Like she worked on some really cool shows, like they were on Netflix and stuff. And she works as an engineer. Nice. But my 3 older sisters, they all, my oldest sister's in a symphony at times. She plays in and out of a symphony. My other older sister, well, I guess the other 3, violin, piano, they dance. My one sister's a ballet teacher, so they're very artsy. I was stuck right in the middle, so I have a little bit of art in me and a little bit of, I don't know, whatever else weird.
Well, weird is good. Quirky is good. I love all of that stuff. Okay. Amen. So now, other than being a musician, do you have another job as well?
So I don't have another job. And I say that I was raised to be a minister. And when I decided to kind of leave that path, I had a little bit of background in finances. I went to school for some financing stuff, but pretty much just went right into playing music full time. That's all I really wanted to do. If I was going to leave the ministry, it was going to be for something that was I knew it for sure that I loved it and nobody could talk me out of it, as opposed to I'm leaving because I want to be, something that you could talk me out of from the godly pursuits I had. Right. So music was like, you can't talk me out of this. So I performed 2, 3, it started off with 1 gig, but I performed 5, 6 nights a week, just to make a living, I would much rather do that.
Mhm.
And I would go to different cities around Toronto. I'd go to Newmarket, I'd go to Barrie, I'd go to Toronto, I'd go to St. Catharines, all over, just to get gigs. And so that's still what I do. I still gig when I'm not, I mean, that's my main source of bringing in bacon. Now, said that, I have extreme hobbies that I am very much into that I'm hoping will someday sideline my career. They've made me, been a little bit of work for me, but I would like to make it more of part of my career. And that is, I do a lot of cinematography now with drones.
Oh,
And with
nice.
yeah, so I work with big radios controlling little tiny machines to fly through the air.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh my gosh, I love it. That's
We
awesome.
have little cameras on the front. So anyways, but I mean, it's a serious, I try and make really cool films almost, if you will, with them. So anyways, I mean, I keep busy doing all kinds of other things, but my main skill set is in the music. I'm not really good at construction.
But you must be hampered like right now with the COVID, a lot of performers are having, I mean, some places, I know here in Chilliwack, there are some places open, but you're limited to how many people can be there, right? So that's really tough. Because
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I know as a performer, you need that energy. That's what makes it so great, right? That energy you get from an audience.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm going to take it a step deeper, if you will. I'm going to take it or a little step further. In my mind, and I said this yesterday, and the only reason I'm bringing this up is because yesterday somebody online posted, I think it was my friend Tammy Kid Hutton down in Nashville, and she's a great songwriter. Her husband and her write songs for like Eric Church, like really heavy country artists in America. And she said, I miss she was saying something about how she misses the days of performing with her friends. And that is just performing with their friends in a songwriting circle. And that camaraderie, not only performing with your friends, but performing for an audience, or the energy that an audience is giving you, isn't just one of superficial, surface, all hype. Okay, here it is. You've got heavy bass on and everybody's energy will go up. So if you've got a room and they're excited and they pump you, you get pumped and you give on a great show and it's a great night. Yes, that is true. But on a deeper level, you are hanging out with each other. You know how when they say that water, if you talk nicely to water, its molecules actually react differently inside, which is like when you talk nicely to a plant, it grows differently than if you talk mean to a plant, that kind of thing. They've proven those kind of things. So if you believe it works, then it works. Same thing with music. When we're all sitting there, we're like little atoms inside a room, and we really are giving each other the word isn't therapeutic, but something like that. They're giving a therapeutic energy boost to each other. And without it, it's not just performers aren't getting the same vibe as they get. Well, that's true, but it really is. You're not getting the same sunshine, the vitamin love, the vitamin friend. It's not vitamin D, it's vitamin F. Vitamin H for the hugs, for the energy, vitamin E, like in that way. And if you get that, I mean, yes, we are very much missing it. And online is beautiful. And right now, you and I are having a great moment because I feel like we're right here.
Yes.
And we're staying connected.
Yeah.
But there's so little of that. So yes, when we do get back to that, there will be a lot of weirder people coming back out of their little rooms. Like I've been in this room for, it feels like months, right. Which is great. I like working in here. But coming out, I noticed that I'm even weird going to the store now. I act strange. I put my hair up strange. I've always done that, but I go extra now. I'm like hey, a
why
weird.
Why not? Right?
Yeah, I'm like the bag lady or something. I walk in wrapped up in toilet paper. I'm like, I'm weird.
Anyway. I'm only weird when I'm with other people. I'm very shy when I'm by myself. So
yeah, right.
Oh my gosh, that's been fun. I really like the things you have to say. That like deeper thinking or taking it in a different way or a different level, different path, whatever words you want to use. It's awesome. Thank you so much. It's awesome. Just looking at the time, it looks like we're out of time actually. because it goes so fast.
It does.
But I do appreciate you doing this with me. Now, if anybody wants to get a hold of you, what's the best thing for them to do?
Best thing is you can find me online at marshaldane.com. You can find everything you need about me at marshaldane.com, at least even the links. If otherwise, you can Google Marshall Dane and you'll find everything you need there as well.
Okay,
but the bottom line is Instagram. I do a lot of interaction on Instagram. I do a lot of most of my talking back and forth. So Instagram, it's just at Marshall Dane. And my YouTube channel is starting to get a lot more action, and I'm trying to build up my subscribers there. So YouTube, please subscribe to me there. That's also just /Marshall Dane. And the final one is Facebook, which I use also on a daily basis, and that's Marshall Dane Music. Those are the three main sources. And if you're on Spotify or Apple Music, a great way to help an indie artist is to add one of my songs to your playlist. Spotify has algorithms that tell them if even a song that sounds like a hit song is playing somewhere in their catalog. And if they notice that a guy from, northern Toronto is getting hits from people in Chilliwack, BC, adding them to their playlist, they say, what's that all about? And they actually do notice that. So I really appreciate that.
Oh, good. Oh, before we go, I forgot to mention, you mentioned songs. Now, do you write your own songs?
Oh, yeah. I write a lot of my own tunes. I mean, everything I write these days is my own stuff. So you can, if you go to Spotify, you can see both. I've got 2 albums out. I've got a couple of singles out there. There's lots of music. You should find something you like. Hopefully it doesn't take you long to find one you enjoy. Yeah, you can definitely find my tunes. I've got new music coming out this year. Just before you call, or before we got onto this interview, I found out that I have another track getting ready for release. So we got lots of cool, fun music coming out that you should, it's independent. It's not your mainstream stuff, and I hope you enjoy it.
Oh, it sounds awesome. That's great. Okay, well, just stay there with me for a second while I say goodbye to the audience. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about Marshall Dane. It's been a pleasure for me to interview him, and I hope to see you again. In the meantime, stay safe and peace out, everyone.
A sense of community, Chilliwack's a place to be. A sense of community where you're free. Rolling through the mountains, rolling through the valley, rolling through paradise with me. It's multicultural, you're sure to see it all. Chilliwack's the place to be, you'll see. Come party in the park, go dancing after dark. Chilliwack's the place to be, you'll see.